Good morning, everyone. This is AJ Black, council owner, innovator, and construction designer, discipline, council, judgment on earth, who decide what is good, what is bad, and judge the system on earth, plus giving resolutions, innovative ideas with government, with beauty council in galaxy, including Mama, Tata, Gadgat, Królowa. So, as AJ Black, I wish to show you how stupid is, being and doing things in London, in UK city, because we cannot call this a city metropolitan. As you have a look, I'm in a museum of art and events and films and in London, and this is how the construction and using of beautiful materials from earth is quite big and tall. And what this materials is used for to make what? Bujawka, huśtawka in Polish language, Polska language, to the public. So this all the construction is made to what? Swinging for the older people. Or to the public, which is appropriate, disgusting, and showing the proof of no quality and brain as a humanity in public in UK. Have a look how the ball is swinging and how the people, public, sitting underneath. The ball looks like made from the aluminium or some metal. And a question is thick inside as a hard ball or just empty, like bombka from Polska language on the Christmas tree. So because is on a chain, steel chain, it means it's quite heavy. And as is in a swinging from side to side, so it makes like a move. And what makes move, it's getting quite heavy with each move. So it depends how thick is inside, and is possibility to can fall down on a public. If will fall down, can make damage of public. Sitting underneath, which is stupidity to make anything hanging quite heavy on the top of the public. So what construction this is and what stupid this is, and in on Earth and in galaxy life is not everything so official. Nie wszystko jest tak oczywiste. Like if we watching the move and existing. So if this is not so oczywiste and so official, this ball cannot fall down, which means that someone make construction and danger to the public city. So is a public city, is in a danger, and someone making ball and using beautiful materials like this to make a swing for someone is really appropriate, and we cannot say about quality and thinking beyond the musical level. Is stupidity, basically. Use these all materials for what? Make a judgment. And the second, my person was watching the Polska Wiadomości, fakty, news, is a news channel about what's happened in Polska government, in the system in Poland. And as European Union, we was showing the uniforms as a police who is training in some area, some rooms, and shooting to the signs made from paper as remind someone post to someone body, which is really appropriate because they running, they shooting to someone which is not moved. It's just like standing signs, and they wearing these uniforms, heavy jackets, and they try to play soldiers or a Mortal Kombat, which is really appropriate. And this is disgusting what the government spending money for. Because if is any problem, sometimes the enemy move as a criminals, or sometimes standing in a point but doing some appropriate and criminal damaging things against the life. So if you think this is some training to avoid to stop them criminals, this is ridiculous what you're spending money for in Polska. Stupidity is, and no quality is a proof in the Polska government system and UK government system, and mostly on earth in all countries, mostly including USA. Because shouting to the soldiers and pushing them, to the jump and down, up and down, and screaming to the ear, you this, you that, is really appropriate. So where's the training, and where this training, what do you call this training? What this move supposed to repair in a system and survive their lives? Prove it. And if any dangerous come in, is lots of things which you cannot compare to the running in the room with high jackets and hard hats and shooting to the the signs which standing or moving on like some police doing, moving from on by the ceiling from left to right and shooting to the paper signs is really appropriate, is a rubbish, not training. And in reality you need to use much more than only pistols and guns. You need to use the head exactly. So if someone make a training like this, which we cannot as a council call training, is stupidity, and is using and spending someone's time and spending someone's money for the ridiculous idiotic orders made from some idiots. And second things. Secondly, what is coming on our mind is like a system, and including the public plus organizations made by public who supposed to look after the people, public and lives on earth. And the ongoing problem from is on earth is like if you think about the criminals who's about the wars, who's making blow-ups, shooting and damaging the beautiful constructions on earth, beautiful lives on earth. And if let's say if someone as a government make the organization like a Pentagon, which is safety organization on USA, NATO, NATO, as a safety organization in UK, in Europe and on Earth, as a United Nations a safety organization and look after in human rights on earth, prawa człowieka, but can you call yourself człowiek? If you do not you can call yourself human if you do not use your head, brain, but the brain is not only the tall is a head which is connected with what? Ask yourself. So if you have no soul, how you can tricked by the head and soul which is connected with the heart, lives with respect. So if you think what's happening on the earth, which is connect government of USA, Pentagon, CIA, FBI, who's connect with loads of governments, including Russia, who's fighting, and the UK, London government, Westminster, of Great Britain, who's Anglia basically, who's hypothetically fighting with the criminals as Islam, Afghanistan, Pakistan, all the criminals, who what's happened war in Israel, Palestinian, in Palestine, and plus in Africa, Cambodia, Kenya, and Cambodia. Ask yourself where is Cambodia? What was happened in Vietnam? Japan, and all the areas on the earth. How disgusting this is if the countries like USA, they saying Russia, they saying they fighting with against the criminals, terrorists basically, and the terrorist is like a connection of the Islamist countries, as Pakistan, Afghanistan, all the Sri Lankan, all the Muslim, loads of Turkish, loads of the countries who support the Islam, as the Islamabad, and all this let's say all the countries as terrorist, including cannot call this organization, but criminalists call themselves Al Qaeda. It's like all the governments and countries, which my person said, like including USA, Russia, and the UK. Made a war which they fighting hypothetically with them is Al Qaeda and all terrorists on earth, and try to support the public city, which is ridiculous. They making the guns and using nanotechnica, the processors, microprocessors, innovation technica, Anaka, to make the weapons and fight hypothetically against the including the cars and the tanks against the some rockets, shooting rockets against the an innovation Anaka. Technica, with against the terrorists, but they going, of course, to these countries. They fighting, shooting each other, but basically this is all the fiction, theater to your view in news every day. And the reality is they making all the the technica and innovations like Apple phones and processors and the weapons